In this video, we're doing the 6.2 Try Now sheet where we're changing it to standard form. Now, when we say standard form, we're not going to require you to memorize what standard form means this year. That will be in grade 10. What we want you to do is just practice the algebra. So we're going to say ax plus by plus c equals 0. So we'll give you this hint that we want you to put this in this form. And again, what this meant is that we want everything on one side equaling 0. So I want a 0 here on one side. I don't care if that 0 is on the left side or the right side. We want to start with the x, then the y, the extra number if there is one, c. The a here had to be positive, and you weren't allowed to use any fractions or decimals. You had to multiply the whole equation with something to get rid of any fractions or decimals. So let's try that right now. So right here, the first thing that I notice is that it doesn't equal 0. Most of them it doesn't equal 0, so we have to get rid of that, or we have to fix that first. We're going to bring everything over either to the left side or to the right side. Because this x is negative, I'm going to bring it over to the left side. And that will make it positive, and that will make this one positive, and then they'll all be on one side equaling 0. And the order does matter, so we don't want to write the y first, we want to write the x, so it's alphabetical order, x, y, number. So let's write the 2x first. Okay, so that one moved over. The y did not move, so we're just going to write it down here exactly as it is. It did not move sides. This one's moving. The ones with the arrows are the ones that had to move over the equal sign. This minus 5 had to move over and become a plus 5, and then we just leave the equal 0 alone. So these two moved, that became a positive 2x, that became a positive y, the y stayed where it was, and you put the equals. And that's it. So it's just, we're going back to chapter 4 to make sure that we can still do our formula manipulation. Here, same idea, we have to have it equaling 0, that's important. Then we want to move everything either over to the left side or to the right side. Now when I look here at the 7x, I say that's already positive. So I don't really want to move it to the left side because it'll make it negative 7x, and we want to always start with a positive number, positive coefficient. So instead, in this one, I'm going to move the y to this side, which makes it minus y. I'm going to leave nothing on that side, so I'm going to leave a 0 here. The 7x stays where it is. The only one that's moving is the y, so that becomes a minus y when it hops over. And the 9 also stayed where it was, so that one did not change. And that's it. You're done. Okay, next one. This also has a problem that has a fraction in it, and we don't want fractions, and we don't want we want it to equal 0, and we don't want a negative. So all three problems are occurring here. So the first thing I would do is get rid of the fraction. So getting rid of the fraction means that I would multiply everything by the lowest common denominator. This is my strategy. Multiply all of these by lowest common denominator, which means I'm going to multiply everything by 3. So this 3 here, multiply everything. So this is my brain thinking that. So whatever's in the bubble, you have to write. Times 3, you can write that on the side, and it goes 1, 2, 3. All three terms get multiplied. Every single term gets multiplied by 3. That makes this change to be a 3y. This here, when I multiply negative 8 over 3 times 3. So what you're thinking is this, negative 8 over 3 times 3. Remember that's over 1, so then you end up getting 8 times 3, so it'll be negative 24 over 3, which gets me negative 8. You don't have to write this, but that's what happens when you multiply a fraction by its lowest common denominator. It ends up just being the numerator part. So this will be canceled out, and it ends up, so if you notice that pattern, what happens is that when I do this on the side here, I end up just with the negative 8x. Right? So I multiply it by 3. It's like the 3's cancel out. 3 of these thirds, so it's 8 thirds. 3 of them will make it just 8. Okay? And then here this becomes minus 6. So one more time. All of them get multiplied by 3. That becomes a 3y. 3 of the 8 thirds becomes just a negative 8. 3 of the negative 2's become a negative 6. So then we're left with this beautiful thing, which is where we were kind of up here. And that just means that it has to equal 0. So that means I have to either move everything to the left side or everything to the right side. I always look at this sign here, And because that's negative, I would like to move everything over to the left side to make everything positive, or sorry, not everything, but make the coefficient of the x positive. That I find easiest. So if I bring it over here, I'm going to go 8x. And there's slightly different ways to do this, and the more comfortable you become with equations, the more you'll be able to, oh, I did this first versus that first. But this is a good strategy while you're just learning it. So 8x, and then keep the 3y where it is, so it didn't change. This negative 6 becomes a positive 6, and leave it 0, and that's it. Beautiful, gorgeous, stop there. Okay, so let's try that strategy again. When I see a fraction, I'm going to multiply everything by the lowest common denominator, so multiply everything by 7. Okay, by 7. So multiply by 7. 1, 2, 3. You don't have to show this, or actually I would show this. I would show on the side multiply by 7, so let's write that neater. So I would go multiply by 7. Okay, multiply, you can put the 7 in a bracket, multiply by 7, and then we're going to get here 7y equals, and look, that becomes 7 times 2, so 14 divided by 7 becomes just the 2x, and you'll get used to multiplying that. And this is 21. If you need to do that on the side, 7 times 3 is 21, you can go 2 over 7 times 7 over 1. That becomes 14 over 7, which becomes 2. So if you need to do this on the side, you can do that on your rough paper, and you're multiplying that fraction there. And it becomes a 2. Then you say, okay, the 2 is positive, so that means I want to leave it where it is, and I want to move this guy here. So leave 0 here, keep the 2x, put the 7y in the middle, and the 21. So remember, we want the order to be right. So it's x, y, and the number. So it's basically like alphabetical order. You're trying to organize it in order. All right. For this question, it says find the slope and y-intercept of the following. When you see that, my hint to you, and we may or may not give you a hint on a test, is that change to y equals mx plus b form. That's my hint to you. And the reason why that's important is because if you change it to this form, you can get the slope, and you can get the b, which is the y-intercept. So that would answer all your questions. So let's do that first. So this is not in y equals mx plus b form, because it would need the y to be isolated by itself. Okay, so first of all, I go y needs to be isolated by itself. So let's move everything away from y. So I'm going to move this one over and this one over to the other side of that equal sign. So you get negative 7y stays where it is. Don't drop the negative, right? Don't drop the negative. It's still negative 7y. I'm going to bring this one over, negative 2x, and this one over here, minus 8. And you might wonder, can I bring the 7y over? Yes, you can. You'll get the same answer. So as long as y is isolated on either the left or the right side, that's okay, right? I'm just leaving it here. Divide everything by whatever's in front of the y, so negative 7, and negative 7. That cancels out, so if you divide exactly by what's in front, that'll become a 1. These two negatives cancel out, so cover this up. I'm going to write this down first, so that's 1 equals, now cover that up, so you're reducing negative 7 and negative 2 and negative 7, they become positive. So that'll be 2 over 7. Put the x in the middle. I want to see you put the x in the middle of the line, right there. And then now reduce this fraction. So it's negative 8 over negative 7, so it'll be positive 8 over 7, and that's it. Then you're going to go therefore, make sure you answer the question. Okay, a lot of time you do all this work and you didn't answer the question. So therefore, I want to find the slope. So the slope is always the number in front of the x, so 2 over 7. And the y-intercept, so the b is the number here, the leftover number, 8 over 7. And you keep the sign, but it's a positive. Okay, let's try that one more time. Isolate this to change it to y equals mx plus b form. Okay, isolate that term. Who moves? This one and this one over the equal sign. So they change. This is a positive 6y. So then this will be a negative 3x. And that becomes a minus 10. Right, so both of them move. This one stays a positive 6y. divide by exactly what's in front of it. That cancels out to be a 1. So this is left with y equals, and now watch, same steps. Cover this up. I want you to reduce this fraction. Negative 3 over 6 reduces to be, you can divide this by 3. So it'll be negative 1 over 2. Write the x here in the middle of the fraction, not at the bottom. Top is okay, but more middle, okay? And then reduce this fraction. So this fraction, I would divide the top and the bottom by 2. So that'll be negative 5 over 3. Write down your conclusion. Make sure you answer the question, right? Don't waste all this time and you didn't answer the question. So therefore, m equals, you don't have to put the therefore, I like it because it's my conclusion. The number in front is negative 1/2 slope. And my intercept is, take this including the negative, negative 5 over 3. So don't drop the negatives. Some people drop the negatives on their answer. And there we go.